And welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of I Want My Podcast. This is a Sister Wives edition. I will be one of your hosts today, Miguel Perez. And with me today
And
is
I am your other
that's right. Yeah.
host.
Yeah.
Sorry.
With me today
That's what you
is
guys usually do.
yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just, you know what? Like sometimes like I have to introduce people because like they don't know. So, but like I should just know that you know
Got it.
how
Yeah,
this
I
thing
think
goes.
the internet kind of like clanged, so I thought that it was like an awkward silence, but yeah. I'm your other host, Caitlin.
Hell yeah, there it is, Caitlin. And a little bit about Caitlin. She is a Sister Wives fanatic. I know you love this show more than anything else. I know you followed all 17 seasons of it. You have like all this trivia questions that other people would know, like myself. I don't because I don't follow the show that much, but I feel like you would answer trivia questions that I wouldn't be able to get about this show.
Probably. Most of my Reddit karma comes from r/TLC sister wives. So yeah, I'm very, I mean, just like I like seeking sister wives as well. I'm very intrigued by the concept of polygamy, not for myself at all, but for just how dysfunctional and crazy it is. And also I know people who are polyamorous, which is
Hmm.
I think a lot different than polygamy. And they seem like they have situations that work for them. I don't know. But yeah, the patriarchal kind of idea. That's why Nick from Seeking Sister Wives is so smart. That's why he's able to make it work because he got them to marry each other and stuff like that. But
Professor Nick, yeah, that was a loophole I
yeah,
was not expecting.
well, he's a thinker.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but Cody and all of their Mormon like the way that they function is so different too from the people on Seeking Sister Wives because it's
Hmm.
so enmeshed in how they grew up and their faith. Um, and also he's just a piece of shit.
He
Like
is.
even Garrick Merrifield is kind of maybe because he's such a wimp, he's like less infuriating a little bit than Cody. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. He's pretty bad. But yeah, Cody's
That's
just awful.
that's funny that you bring him up. You know what? In all this time that I've been like talking, because we've had a Sister Wives podcast before. I covered for a while. I covered a couple episodes, and we had somebody else. Our friend Lindsay came on, and she's also like a huge fan of Sister Wives. And after all of this time, I've never thought to compare him to Garrick Merrifield, who is like an absolute garbage human being.
Yeah, but they kind of are on the same level, except Cody made it work because he had that religion behind him. Um,
Hmm.
with what's it called, LDS, which he didn't grow up LDS. He chose to join it after his dad chose to join it, and his dad was like, "Hey, you want to get some more wives? You want to have a mansion on your own planet in heaven?" So I think Cody kind of went into it kind of, licking his lips and rubbing his hands together rather than really, I don't know. I mean, I can't say that he doesn't believe in his religion, but the way that he joined, I thought was a little suspicious.
No, a lot of people do that. They believe in the religion when you question the religion, but then they forget about it, and then they do the stuff that they do. And then when you
Right.
bring it back to religion, they're like, "Oh no, I'm super religious," and it's like,
Hmm.
"But you weren't a minute ago when you're doing scumbag shit."
Yeah,
So it's like,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's at one point in one of the episodes, Janelle says that our culture is very like matriarchal centered, and like we have a lot of veneration for the matriarch, and it's like Cody doesn't, though. Like it's all about him.
mhm.
He doesn't give a shit about Christine, who raised all of his children except for the ones that he didn't have with Robin.
Yeah. No, he definitely doesn't respect that at all. I
Hmm.
mean, I've noticed it before when I was talking about it. Like I said, we covered a couple episodes, and I just still haven't noticed it today. I watched 3 episodes, and I was just like, nah, this guy just doesn't get it. He just
Yeah.
doesn't get it.
He doesn't get
Uh,
he's not a thinker.
no, not at all, not at all. But why don't we start with the very first episode? I mean, the conversation that he had with Christine was, I think, a conversation that every single fan of Sister Wives has been waiting for a long time,
Yeah.
and that is the one where Christine pretty much breaks away from him or wants to away from him.
Yeah.
Um, a couple of takeaways from my part is that. I, I mean, first of all, from what I've seen, because again, I don't watch the show as much, he didn't really care too much about her. He never
No.
seemed to really um put any effort or time into his relationship with her. And everything that we watch in this conversation, because that was mostly the entire episode, is that he just didn't really care for the relationship.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think there's some like telling things in what she said and what he said about their past. And first of all, she said that she's felt unloved by him for 10 years. 10 years ago is when Robin joined the family. Like it's very clear that as soon as she joined the family, put all of his attention onto Robin. But also, even digging further back than that, he told her, I've never been attracted to you. And he even wrote in their book that they came out with that one time he watched her eating chili cheese nachos and it disgusted him how much she was shoving it into her mouth. Like if that's how you look at your wife that you just married that's just eating food. Like that's super gross. Um,
The mother of your kids, I mean, you should be able to look at
right.
her, and whether she is shoving nachos into her mouth or taking a shit, he should be able to look at her lovingly.
Yeah. Well, if he was there with her while she was giving birth to 6 children, I mean, I feel like that's the most vulnerable you can be, or it's one of the most vulnerable things you can be as a woman, like that's very much all
Yeah,
out there.
yeah,
Like nachos are too much for you, but placenta and amniotic fluid is fine. I guess because that's your kids that are your legacy or whatever coming out. But
yeah.
um, also, Christine, I don't know if you know this or not, but Christine is considered Mormon royalty. Her
Oh,
grandfather,
yes.
yeah, her grandfather started their sect of Mormonism. And he
Wow.
was actually imprisoned for having multiple wives, and then later he was murdered by a different sect of Mormons.
I do. Wait a minute. I think I remember something like that. Yes. I didn't know she was considered royalty, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's word on the street. I mean, I don't know if I they they
Word
would
in the
call her
street of
that, but
Utah.
yeah, on Reddit. But that's what I've heard is that that's why one of the reasons why he married her was because he thought it would give him kind of, you know, some, I don't know what the word is,
Yeah.
trying to get up, a leg up on the pile in
Le-
Mormonism.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying because it's like when you marry into like in the royal family, right? Where you're like,
Right.
I don't know, where you're just like what do they call it? I don't know the titles. What are the titles? Like an earl,
Yeah, and
and
like
then
Duke.
next, you're like a duke, and now you're like a prince or something like that. So maybe he
Right.
was hoping for something like that in his world or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because he's such a narcissist that would be a
Yes.
reason for him to marry a woman and take away her chance at actually having somebody to love her just because he thought it would make him look better.
Yeah, he is yeah, I can totally see him doing that. He is a narcissist all the way. That is the one thing I noticed after like his shitty name. I was like, yeah, you're a total narcissist, dude.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And him and one of his wives are like third cousins.
Which one?
I can't I don't know if it's I want to say it's either Janelle or Christine.
I'm gonna go with Janelle.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Janelle is a one because she seems a little too like, oh, I know him. He's just Cody being Cody.
Mhm.
It's like, I mean, not to get ahead of ourselves. I mean, we'll be talking about her next, but that's one thing that she mentioned that she was like okay with the arrangement that they
Yeah,
had, while the
which is
kids are
sad.
like, yeah, it is really sad, and I really thought about that, uh, and it just I think it's basically just like her saying, you know what, I am who I am. This is me. I'm getting older.
Mhm.
What are the chances of me getting out there and finding another person that is going to provide for me the way that this lunatic is providing? Like I'll just might as well just stay here. Like I rather like she seems to be just
Just
uh
comfortable.
comfortable. Yeah, she just wants to be safe, play it safe, and that's it. And of
Mhm.
course, everybody's different. Again, Christine is different. She's trying to break away from this, which again, I don't blame her.
I predict that by the end of the season, Janelle is gonna leave too, though.
You think she'll be like the what do they call it, the dark horse that like nobody
Yeah.
really thought about, and then she like out of nowhere she's like, yeah, I'm going back to Salt Lake too. See ya.
Yeah, well, and the way that their social media looks, that Janelle and Christine are just hanging out all the time, like them and their kids, and like you never see Mary or Cody or Robin on any of their pictures. So
Ooh.
I don't know. That's just my prediction because last season was so great because they were talking about the COVID protocols, and Janelle just got up and she was like, "Fuck you, Cody," and just walked out. It was awesome.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it was towards the end, and they were just all getting fed up. But it was like, yeah, you go, Janelle, you go.
I I like Janelle. I
I
think
do
you're right. I
too.
think she might be the dark horse in this race that
Yeah,
just
I
gets
think
up and
so.
leave.
I,
I mean,
I
she's got fame, 17 seasons of being in a show. There's
she
gotta be
also has
at
her own
least,
income.
yeah, I mean, you got your own income. You've been on a show for like, I want to say, did I say 17 years?
I think it's more like they do like how Survivor does 2 seasons a year. I
Oh,
think
okay.
they like try and cram a bunch of seasons in, and that's because I think they started the show when Robin joined the family. That was like kind of the big, drama of the show. And
Oh.
I want to say that that was 10 years. Yeah, it was 10 years ago because I started watching it 2012 when it first aired.
So, okay, so now you've been on TVs for 10 years. You have your own income, you're your own person, you're your own woman. There's gotta be one guy out there that's gonna be like, hey, Janelle, you can leave Cody.
Hmm.
I'm here. I'm right here. You don't need
Yeah.
to, split me with 17 wives. I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's got to be one guy out there that's a fan of her.
I'm sure there are plenty of people sliding into Christine's DMs, right? I mean, like, besides the fact that she's just famous, she has just been so well portrayed on the show throughout the entire years. Like, she is a catch. She is.
And who do you think is sliding into her DMs? You think it might be maybe like a greedy boyfriend or a greedy husband that might want to take away Cody's money or
I
family
do.
away from him? Do you think it's
I
maybe
think it's
somebody
going
like
to
that?
be, yeah, I think that, first of all, I think that she's stupid enough to fall for somebody that's going to take all of her money, obviously. And,
Oh, for Cody.
all of his money. I'm sorry. Yeah, she doesn't have anything in this relationship. He's the one that brings in all of their TLC money. I'm not sure because I know what he does for a living. He's a private gun seller. Um, so I don't know how much he makes just going to gun shows and selling guns. And their one of their kids has actually come out and said TLC does not tell you what he does for a living because they think it's too controversial.
He
Um,
sells guns?
yeah, that's one of the reasons I've heard that they moved from Las Vegas to Arizona was right after the mass shooting in Vegas. Like
Uh-huh.
there was a big kind of it was
Y y I remember
a
that, yeah.
guns. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons postulated that that's why they left.
Oh.
But
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, because remember in a later part in the show, he's like, I could pay somebody $20 an hour to watch my kids and not lose $200. It's like, what private gun seller is making $200 an hour every hour throughout the week? Like, that's not how it works. You
Yeah,
go to
it's
gun shows, you meet people, like, but that's, yeah.
I love his thought process. His thought process it's hysterical to me because he's one of those he's like here you know who he is? He's like Paul from 90 Day Fiance. He's one of those people who like things
Fast,
they're
fast, say
like
fast.
yeah, he's his thought process it just wows me. For him, everything he does is like it goes according to what he's thinking. But we
Mhm.
all kind of like we all like live in reality,
Well,
so
right,
like we
it's like
know how
we're
things are.
watching
Yeah,
what we've
that's
seen
another.
what has been said, and then he's on the talking head being like, "Well, they're saying that I'm the one that, ruined everything." And it's like, "No, they're not. You're saying they're the reason why everything like you just twist their words around to make it fit how you want to be victimized because that's what it is. It's not even his like real thought process so much as how can I make sure that I am the one being, victimized and I'm the one that is everybody should feel bad for me, you know?
Perfect example of that is when he told Janelle, no, not Janelle, I'm sorry, Christine. He's like I just want to make sure that you don't go like around the country or whatever telling people that I'm a bad person. I'm like, you got 17 seasons of that.
Yeah, you've already told everybody yourself what a bad person you are. You don't need her help.
You yeah, like what are you saying? Like what are you saying? Like after what like I don't know if I was my wife and I we were on a show, right? On a like a prank show on Discovery Plus. Like as soon as it came out, we're like, we want to watch it. Like we were like, we want to
Yeah,
see what they did with the footage. Because even one of those things
yeah,
that were like, that like one of the questions that they asked us, they were what's it called? They were trying to like trick us into saying something like crazy or like, but we didn't. Like we knew how to handle the situation, and obviously that question did not make it to the show.
right.
But anyways, my point is he is watching this show. He is being filmed. He has to be at one point like I want to see what they did with the footage. And if he sees what they've been putting out there for 17 seasons, for 10 years, and he still thinks that he is a good person,
And you know that motherfucker and Robin are on the
what?
couch every Sunday night watching their episodes to see, how they look. Because that's all they care about is how they're perceived. Like everything that Robin says is just like, you wrote this down before you got into the booth, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
he's
bet
and he's such a narcissist too that you know that he can't not watch.
exactly. So that's what amazes me about some of these cast members that are repeats. Like Ariella, like
Mhm.
Cody, like Angela. Like, how do you not see yourself on TV the way that we are watching you, and not think to yourself, wow, I really need to make some changes. Like
Right.
like don't get me wrong, I get it. Some of this stuff is scripted, heavily scripted, or they manipulate the truth, or they mess with it, whatever you want. But even if that's the case, is that really how you want to be portrayed to the world?
And one
Like
of the
you're okay
reasons
with it?
Yeah, well, one of the reasons why Sister Wives is so intriguing to me too is because I don't think it's as fake as like 90 Day Fiance and stuff because they are a family. Like they started out the show as like a cohesive family that seemed to, love each other and get along and everything. And it's devolved because of the show, but it's devolved because of Cody's relationship with Robin. And like, yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about it is that it doesn't seem as scripted as the rest of reality TV.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
no, I would say that, yeah, some of the stuff doesn't really feel scripted, but like
I
again,
mean, there's obvious editing, sure.
yeah, and just like how do you again, my question is, how do you not change? How do you see yourself on TV and go, yeah, I was right? How do you say something on TV into a camera and then on the show the next scene is you doing the complete opposite? How do you watch that and go, oh, maybe I am a piece of shit? Or like, yeah, no, that's good. Like, how do you like
Personally, I
lie
don't
to
know.
yourself?
But I do think that yeah, he's just lying to himself, and he's sitting there yelling at the TV, going, "Oh, they edited that wrong. Those jackwagons, like this is a bunch of crap." The way they talk, like I think that he just sits there and gets angry and blames everybody else but him, and then
I
he's sitting there screaming at Robin, and she's just like, "Okay," like she just always just you can see that both Mary and Robin are terrified of saying anything to him.
They really are. I remember when Robin was trying to like stand out to him and be like, "I want my land here facing the lake," and he was like, "What? What? It's everybody's lake."
Yeah, dude. Like he's definitely verbally abusive to all of his wives.
He is, and then he says he's not, and he
Yeah.
tries to change it. So, like you said, so that he is the victim.
Hmm.
You can see him like backpedaling or
Yeah.
backtracking into that position of I'm the victim. Now it's on you. He does that so like every episode that I watch, he does that with every single one of the wives. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're trying to leave the family? Okay, well, you need to tell everybody that you're leaving because that's what you want, not because of me. I want
Yeah.
you to tell everybody that it's you, not me. Okay?
Right.
Do you guys catch on the camera? It's her, not me. Got it? Okay, cool. And then on the show, it's like, yeah, he's a shit stain.
Hmm. And I mean that's just evidenced by he was too proud to sleep on her fucking couch, after she said, I don't want you sleeping in my bed anymore. And he's like, well, why does the man always have to sleep on the couch? And it's like, first of all, you have three other houses that you could sleep at. She doesn't have the luxury of that. And second of all, like, as much as I hate to admit it, Robin was right when she was like, if you actually want to try and fix things, you'll sleep on the couch, you'll try and be there, but he didn't want to fix things. He just wanted to be like, why do I have to sleep on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
He just
He
wants to
just wants
whine and complain about everything.
exactly. That's all he wants because they again, he's just looking at this from like a victim mentality. Like, hey, look at the camera is catching all of this. She's making me sleep on the couch after I try so hard to do all of this for her. It's like, what are you talking about? Do you are you not
And why
listening to
would he?
her?
Yeah, no, he's not. And why would he want to sleep in the bed with her when like there's no intimacy? It must be so awkward. Like, why would you want that?
Yeah,
But that's a power play. That's why he wants to sleep in the bed with her to like make her feel bad, I think.
I think he's just pretty much saying like, hey, I'm doing you a solid. Like this, I'm doing this out of obligation because I marry you because we're a family. That's why I'm doing this. And obviously, she doesn't feel
Yeah,
like she doesn't want to be an obligation. She wants to be free. She wants to be herself. She wants to do her own thing. Why not let her do it? But
right.
guarantee you right now, she's just looking at herself going, I'm so glad I'm not legally married to this asshole. Like I
Yeah,
can literally just get up and leave.
yeah. That I
There's
mean,
no obligation.
that 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 must be pretty nice for her. And then I wonder about the custody agreement and arrangement that is going to happen between him and her and Truly.
He doesn't
Because
care.
no,
He
well, he
doesn't care.
wants to pretend to on the coming up next week. He's like, you're not going to, it's going to be 50-50. You're not going to take her anywhere. And Christine was like, it could have been 50-50 the whole fucking time if you'd have come over. And
But
that's another thing I would
yeah,
just want to say.
yeah, yeah.
I love this season. Christine is cursing like a sailor in her like talking head footages, and it's really funny because if you notice in all the other seasons, all the wives try not to curse. The most they'll say is "Oh my hell," and like you never hear them cursing. But in this one, Christine is like, "You fucking piece of shit" and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
love it. It's great.
I did enjoy her few "he's an asshole"
Yeah.
comments. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what was I gonna say about him? Oh, he's the type of person that just wants to be annoying during an actual divorce. They start
Mhm.
throwing words like the kids, the house, the pets. It's like all the things that they didn't care about before. Now all
Right.
of a sudden there's like, they're my kids. I need custody. I need to see them. It's like you you could have seen them. Like you said, it's like you
Mhm.
had fucking their entire life to see them. Maybe you
Yeah.
didn't build a relationship with them.
Yeah,
And now
that's
all of a
just
sudden
like
you want to?
he's one of those people that is just in every argument. He's like, well, actually, blah, 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 and like making a complete different tangent to try and steer it to where he is. Like, he's somebody that you can never actually just like talk to about anything. He'll just be like, but what about you? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's one of those people that, like, if you start talking about, like, hey, it's sunny outside, it's like, yeah, but you know what? Yesterday was so rainy and it was cloudy and things sucks and it's probably your
Uh-huh.
fault. And you're like, what? How'd you get to that point?
And it was probably your fault, actually.
Yeah, how's my fault? The weather fucking sucks here.
Yeah,
That's
and, it's not really that blue of a sky, it's more of a, blue-green. Yeah,
yeah.
he's one of those people that is just gonna
Ugh.
always, uh, be like that.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, it really did bother me, and I saw right through it. Again, I feel like everybody that watches this shows or watch reality shows are very good at reading people that they
Mm,
don't know. Or like you can just see people act for like a couple of minutes and you'll be like, I know exactly what you do, how you do it, and I can guarantee you I know everything about you in two
yep.
seconds. Just because we've seen so many personalities come across reality shows that you're like, you act like that guy, you act like that guy, therefore you're in this category.
Yeah, and well, and the really terrifying thing about Cody Brown is that he is in the category of somebody like, Big Ed or,
Hmm.
oh, what's his name with Mahogany? Ben?
Ben,
Um,
yep, yep,
yeah,
yes, yes,
Jeffrey Pascal that
yes,
got arrested for kidnapping his girlfriend,
yes.
and that Mark guy, Mark and Nikki, that made her sign the prenup and shit.
Fuck,
Like,
nailed all of them. Yes,
right? Yeah, he
yes,
aligns with the like rogues gallery of 90 Day Fiance people. Like,
yes. Oh no, you absolutely nailed it. Like he does line up with those fucking people
uh-huh, yeah.
perfectly. They're
He's
all in the
the
same category.
Big Ed is the penguin. Um, Ben's the Joker, maybe? I don't know. Or
I think he's like
no,
Two Face.
he's like Two Face, yeah. And then
Yeah,
Mark is like Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Yeah,
Yeah, he because makes fears. I don't know. Maybe Cody's Joker. Cody's the Joker.
Cody's definitely Joker. Yeah, I would. Oh yeah, I would paint him as a Joker. Um, but yeah, he was just absolutely awful. And again, when he's talking to Christine, you can just literally see him like literally like flipping the table, like
Hmm.
rotating
Pulling a trigger.
and being like, now it's you who is crazy,
Yeah.
huh? And again, I hate people like that, and I think that's why I stopped watching the show because it was like, fucking hate
Right.
this guy.
Yeah. He's just
This
a
guy sucks.
gaslighter. And I mean, that's what it's the same thing that happened when do you remember when Mary got catfished?
I've heard all about it. I didn't
Yeah.
actually watch those like seasons. I know it was like an off break, and then like it came back, and they're like, she got catfish.
Yeah, it was really weird and awkward, and they were all just like sitting there together, but it's like he cut off complete emotional intimacy from her, and that's why she reached out to people online, and eventually, like, she started emotionally cheating on him with the catfish, and then the catfish turned out to be like a woman who she actually met and it was like it's very weird and yeah, but he did the same thing to her that he's doing with Christine now and that he has been doing with Christine is just withholding intimacy, withholding love and yelling at them. And he keeps saying that the reason why he doesn't want to have intimacy with her is because she was mean to Robin. Please show me the footage because I've never seen her be nothing but cordial with Robin.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, again, I think they were just she was just waiting for an excuse to go. Like that was
Yeah.
it. Like she was just
And
waiting for one more thing and that was it.
and she got that with Isabel's surgery because she said that she completely lost respect for him after he refused to go to Isabel's surgery.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was actually my wife and I watched the show just now, and I was telling her, I'm like, that is my biggest fear that you wake up one day and realize, oh wait, I don't need him, and then you just go off on your own. And
Yeah,
she literally looked at me in the eye and she goes, I don't need you.
but I want you.
But but what did you say? But I want you and I like you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like
So
that's
we
what
keep
you
your
want in a partner.
I
And
was
the
like,
fact
oh
that
man.
she was only there because she thought that she needed him. And that's the same thing, the same way I feel about my husband. Like I don't need him, but I like him and I want him and I love him, you know?
Keep him around. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's funny. Uh
But yeah,
Now,
nobody likes Cody.
no, absolutely no. I don't know how he managed to get those three women to be like, yeah, sure, I'll marry you.
I don't know either. I gotta say, in the old pictures of him, he wasn't really a bad looking guy, you know? Like in the
Really?
younger pictures of I would never call him handsome. But if you're in the Mormonism circle, I don't think you have a lot of choice. And he looks like fucking very like this is a white man. Like he looks like just a generic white man, you know, in the pictures. But I'm just saying, like, he's not like disgusting. So I guess that's how that in their limited circle of people, he was the
Yeah.
best choice.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of choice, and he probably just looks like a superstar to them, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And I feel like when you keep like because I'm just gonna answer. I think they're oppressed. So if you keep that many women oppressed and living like that, and kind of like raise them thinking like, a polygamy is like, okay, this is how we live. This is the you know, if they think that, obviously when they grow up, they see a handsome guy who is not practicing what they believe in, and then they see somebody like Cody, they're definitely gonna pick him a thousand
Yeah,
times over anybody else.
right. Like
So
he's somebody that you could put up with to look at, like when he was that age, but like now he just looks like a gargoyle.
really, I see. I was actually discussing this too. I think they all look better now.
I
I
think that Mary, Janelle, and Christine look better now, and Robin and Cody look worse. Robin has like a goiter or something. She has like a Well, if you look at her neck is like a butterfly. Like she's got like a goiter. She's got
yeah,
a Batman jawline. And in all of her testimonials, she's got these like sausage ring curls that she doesn't brush out. Like she looks like oh my god. And then well, I'll bring this up later. But yeah, I mean she's just she's the worst looking one, and she used to be the young, thin wife, and now she's like gained all, I mean, no shade, but like she's gained all this weight. She's got this huge fucking neck, and like her eyebrows are just like heavy. Like she's just, he hitched his wagon to the wrong horse because Christine and Janelle look beautiful,
they
and
do.
Mary's still looking,
I think uh Mary looks great. Janelle looks great. I think like you
yeah.
said, Christine looks great. She's gonna be killing it on the date and sing.
She,
Uh
right? Yeah.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
glowing.
But yeah, you're right. I think Robin uh just does not look as good as the other wives. Let's just put it that way. Uh,
No,
but
golf Robin.
I do think Cody got better than he looked before.
Hmm.
Like he looked like I don't even know what like his noodle hair now. It's way better than what he had before. He just
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe his hair. Like like what do you call like pasta before it cuts it into like spaghetti, or like before you what is that, the big plain, just like a plain, like when you make the pasta and it's like you put it in the thing and it comes out like just plain, huh? Like just like a sheet. Yeah, it just looks like a yellow sheet. Like his
yeah,
hair just looks like paste. Like, and now it's got like volume and it's got like curls
that's
and you can
true.
see. And I mean, you know, whatever 77 hairs that he has left, he curls them up and like he looks better than he
Yeah.
did when he was younger. I think. I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean,
I wouldn't like to
I
look
agree
like
with
him,
that.
but
Yeah. His hair was, and it was like kind of frizzy too. Like it looked like just a sheet, but it also just like is like fucking, Captain Sandy from Below Deck Med. Like anytime you look at her, like her hair is just like flyaways everywhere, and you're like, girl, like put down the bleach, stop it. Um,
yeah.
but so yeah, that he definitely has, and he because I think of the testosterone, he's a lot fitter now. He used to
Yes.
be a lot
So,
less.
your theory. I want to hear
Yes.
this
Oh,
again.
okay. That's right. I was telling Mig about this before we started the recording, but I have a theory that he when his hair got curly, like really, really ringlet curly, he claimed that the reason why it got really curly is because Robin finally taught him how to style it. Robin doesn't have curly hair. What the fuck would she know about styling the curly hair? It's not true. I have a theory that he started taking testosterone about that time
Mm,
because around that time was when he started getting super aggressive and or like more aggressive and more angry, and that's when his hair completely changed textures. And if you have like hormonal
hmm.
increases in hormones, your hair can
Yeah.
change textures. Because like I said earlier, after I had my second son, my hair got kind of wavy-ish,
Oh,
and it was, I believe it was from the hormones that
Torrance.
cause it. And my mom had a friend actually who had like stick straight hair, and then she had her son and her hair got like super curly. So it's
Wow.
something that can happen, but I totally think he was like a lot dumpier, and now he's a lot like more fit. And that's usually, it's not that way that you're younger and you're dumpier and then you're older and you're fitter, unless maybe you're taking something to enhance that.
That's a
So
pretty good theory.
yeah, that's my theory. And I also want to just mention that I love how in the intro, if you'll notice at the very end when they just show a picture of Cody, it's him when he's got like he's standing and you can see like his gut looks really big. Like the producers intentionally put him in a very unflattering photo.
Do you think they like him?
No, I don't think they like him. I think they love to hate him maybe. I think they know that he makes them money, and I think maybe the editors have fun editing him in the worst way possible, but I don't think anybody at TLC genuinely likes him. I mean,
Hmm.
cuz also I don't know who is the producer of because it's not a Matt Sharp or a 51 Minds show. So I don't
Hmm.
know who the producer is on that, but yeah, I just
So,
can't see like
anybody
I
liking
can
him?
see, yeah, I think they probably like the wives and the kids are great, but he sucks.
Wait, okay, so you being in Reddit, have you ever seen anybody that comes out and go, "Oh, come on, guys, give him a break. He's a nice guy," or
The people that say that haven't finished all of the seasons. Like they'll come and they'll be like, so I'm only on season 6, but I don't get all the Cody hate or all the Robin hate. And it's like, just wait. I know it's going to take a lot of hours and a lot of work to get to where we are now, but you will see why. Because in the first couple seasons, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, like they're not that bad or whatever. And he seems like he is an active, good dad. He loves his kids, blah, blah, blah. And then just the more time passes, yeah, I mean, he just pays all of his attention to Robin and her kids.
Maybe he is going back to just having one wife. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he's just like, you know what? I'm tired. I did it. Like I'm just gonna have one wife. And he looks back and he goes, "Oh fuck, I got three." And like now he's got that attitude where he's just like, well, yeah, you guys, whatever. This is my main wife. You guys just kind of get like the leftover
Yeah.
feelings and emotions.
I think he is doing that too, and I think he is very confident that Mary is not going anywhere. So he doesn't have to worry about her leaving because he wants to have at least three wives, because I believe three wives is what you need in Mormonism to get your planet, your very own planet. You have to have at least three wives, I believe.
What?
So, Mormons believe that in the afterlife, you get your own planet, like out in space, you get your own planet and all of your wives, and you live on that planet forever. But if you don't have three wives, you don't get the planet. I don't know where you go if you don't get three wives. I don't know if you just go to regular Mormon heaven, but yeah, that's like one of the like fundamentalist Mormonism sects believe that. I know. This isn't fucking Scientology. This is Mormonism. They believe you get your own planet when you die, but you have to have three wives.
how how oh my god. How do you look at like another human being straight in the eye and say, "Listen, if you get three wives after you die, you get your own planet." And how, as a grown man, you think, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Like,
Oh,
like
fuck
let
yeah,
me just
dude.
do
No.
that.
Unit? I wonder
Like
what
my
it's
own
called.
planet? Like Mars? Like I'll get Mars? Or do I get
I
Pluto? Like
want to
which one
beat
do I get?
Elon Musk to that.
Yeah. Can I get rings like in Saturn? Can I get rings on my
Yeah.
planet?
Yeah, I want one of those like Rick and Morty looking planets that are all super colorful, and I don't know what I don't know, because I mean I'm not making this up, because I've listened to a 6-part podcast on Mormonism, and how it started and like how it is now, and that's like very well researched. And so yeah, it is true, like they have, I mean, shit, they got the garments too, the temple underwear that they say keeps you safe after you've anointed them and stuff like that.
How
And
how is this a religion?
well, the U.S. government tried to like name it a cult and have it like illegalized for a long time, and then finally they're just like, fuck it, I guess you guys are just gonna keep doing this, whatever, just stop, stop with the polygamy. And then that's why a bunch of like polygamists went into other places like Colorado and what's it called, Arizona and stuff like that. But yeah, for the longest time, I mean, Mormonism was first founded, I want to say, in Missouri by Joseph Smith, and they got ran out of Missouri, and so they went to somewhere else, and they got ran out of there, and then they went to Utah, and then they eventually got ran out of there. But because they had made such a huge community in Utah, Utah was the like state that really went after them and tried to get them out, or at least illegalize the polygamy.
Because like, okay, here's my thing. Again, I am not against what people do or what people believe, what people makes them happy, but I do understand that as human beings, we are bound to take advantage of anything. That's just what we
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
We talk. I think I was talking to my wife about it yesterday. Like people just take advantage. They don't
Right.
care, like they'll abuse something. If they can find a loophole, they'll abuse that loophole. We've seen
Hmm.
it in politics, we've seen it in religion, we've seen it everyday life. You know, you see if people find a loophole, they'll take advantage of it. So my thing is, if you are into a poly relationship, or you like that kind of, like, that's your lifestyle, that's fine, as long as everybody is given their consent and they're all adults, you know. And
Hmm.
I'm not talking like like as soon as you hit 18 you're an adult. I'm talking like everybody past their 30s should be considered an
Yeah.
adult to indulge in anything like that, because I feel like that's a big decision. And but again, if that's your lifestyle, that's what makes you happy, boom, you're an adult, you're 30, you're not going from 17 to 18, you're going from 29 to 30. Now you have more of an idea of what you're getting into. So as soon as you hit
Hmm.
30 you do that. So that's my thing. If you want to do that, that's fine, but again, they started taking advantage of it. They started marrying, fucking 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds,
Right.
9-year-olds, and that's when I would have a problem. And I think that's what the government was having issues with, when all these
Oh yeah.
people
I mean,
started taking advantage of that.
what's his name? Jeff. Oh,
Yes, I
fuck.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Keep Sweet documentary on Netflix.
Hmm.
Jeff Jones. Yeah,
I don't
like
know his last name, but yeah, I know
maybe.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a prime example of why Mormonism and polygamy are things that can completely just get fucked, and
That's my solution, though.
also the polygamy has it's such a
It's such a
what?
what?
Oh, to make sure that everybody's 30?
Oh
Oh, I
yeah,
was
no,
saying
that's
it's
my
such a
solution.
one-sided thing. Yeah, well, and I'll tell you what, dude, from the people that I know that are polyamorous, that's a scheduling nightmare. Like they spend like so much time of their life making out spreadsheets to like give their time away to like their different people. And it's like, when do you sleep? What when do you just like chill and watch Sister Wives?
What, do you just watch a show? Like,
Yeah.
like,
It'd be interesting
you
to
missed out
watch
on Game of
Sister Wives in
Thrones?
a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, but yeah, this show really just, again, I don't think they're gonna last. I think you're right. I think Janelle is gonna join in. She's the
Hmm.
dark horse in this, and she's gonna join in at the end. It's gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Yeah. She's already the way that she's talking about how Cody is just, even like all the COVID protocols and the way that he's not spending time with his children. She's just like, I'm sick of this. Um,
And COVID was a good excuse for Cody not to hang out, to like
yes.
get out of like hanging out with his kids and whatever. He's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna, like, you're gonna be fine if they're vaccinated and you're vaccinated. I mean, there's still a chance you might get it, but it's minimal compared to if none of you're vaccinated and you guys are just fucking making out with each other or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that then there's a big chance that you will get it. But
Well,
if
and
you're
that's the
just
thing.
doing,
He's not kissing any of his other wives, so what does he care?
exactly. So as long as you're just fulfilling your fatherly duties, like, you'll be fine. You're
But
fine.
he's only doing that for Robin's kids.
Yeah, what is that whole
Kids at a
thing about,
tender age.
like, Janelle's kid being grown up, but like they need to move out, but Robin's kids can't move out? Like, what's going on with that?
I have no idea. The only thing that I can think of is, well, Dayton does have autism, so that might be one thing why he doesn't. But her other older kid that's an adult, Aurora, Robin has screwed her children up. Like her daughter Aurora constantly has panic attacks, and she's like very antisocial, and she's like very anxiety ridden. And when they first started like living with the family or whatever, she immediately was like forcing her kids to call Cody daddy, even though they
Mhm.
already had a dad. And then they forced marry to get divorced from Cody so that she could get legally married to Cody so that he could legally adopt her children. And in doing that, they like forced their biological dad to give up, like sign away his parental rights because they had a bunch of TLC money and they were like threatening him with lawyers and shit like that. And also she had this picture commissioned, like a drawing commissioned of her three kids, like before she had the other two, um, hold like in Cody's arms when Cody was like a younger guy. So it's like they were his kids anyway. But she took this picture. It was a picture of Cody holding Christine's kids. And she took that picture and replaced Christine's with her kids. And the best thing about the photo is that like Dayton had to be, or the drawing is that Dayton had to have been like 5 or 6 when he was like drawn into it, like that was his age that he was drawn into it, and he's given a big old thumbs up and he has a huge smile, but all of the teeth are like very clearly adult teeth. It's like very creepy and weird. It's so
Oh,
funny. I'll have to send you like a link to the drawing because it's just weird.
that is weird. And I
Yeah,
can definitely
it's
see why
weird on so many
Christine.
different levels too.
Yeah, and I can totally see why Christine is reacting the way that she's reacting. I mean, you took a picture of our family and then you put in your new family. What am I supposed to
Right, yeah,
gather from that information? Do you know what I
exactly.
mean?
But Christine was mean to Robin.
I don't get that. I don't get it at all. Again, I've seen very few episodes, not really like an entire season, but I've seen very few episodes, and I've seen, like you said, Christine and Robin even hang out at one point. They make it like a thing. They're like, listen, we need to hang out. We need to make this work out.
Yeah.
And they do hang out and they're fine.
And I mean, I don't think that Robin makes much effort to be friendly. I think she's waiting for people to come to her. I think she thinks that they need to, you know,
Because she's the
come.
main wife.
Yeah, exactly. They must come kiss her feet.
Yeah. Come kiss the
Show me what
ring.
them sister wives do.
Yeah. Oh man. But I mean, outside of this, once Christine wakes up from this horrible dream, I think she'll be relieved that again she didn't get legally married with this
Hmm.
buffoon.
And she still has all her assets. He can't like come after her or anything. So yeah, I think that's good. And I think it's good she's moving to Utah and getting away from them. And yeah,
Good for her.
I think it's
Good
be
for
good for
her.
Christine.
And again, I can't wait for Janelle to follow.
Hmm. Me too. And I think that she will, especially because, as I think Christine said in maybe the second episode or the third, but Janelle's kids see how Cody treats their mom and they don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They do see that. That's the other thing I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what are some of the things that like have shown on the show that like people would be like, all right, yeah, clearly he's giving more preference to somebody else than Janelle.
Yeah, I think it really came to a head last season with all the COVID stuff because his COVID protocols, like Janelle and Christine followed the CDC's COVID protocols, and Cody just came up with his own shit. Like he had them wipe down their mail with like, antibacterial wipes and wipe down all their individual groceries and stuff like that. And like they were just like, this is unrealistic to do. And then he was trying to force out her two adult sons out of the house so that he could come visit her because they had jobs, so they had to be out. But if he's got this job that he makes $200 an hour with, which we know he sells guns, he's obviously interacting with people out in the daily life, just like his sons were when they had their jobs. So I think he was just making up every excuse not to come visit her. And last season, him and Gabe and Garrison, his two adult kids at Janelle's house, they had a bunch of fights and they were blaming Robin the whole time. And like that really
Wow.
pissed him off. And he was like, everybody's blaming Robin. But it's kind of weird that if every adult child is saying this is Robin's doing, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if again, if everybody is telling you where the problem is,
Hmm.
you know,
But he doesn't want to admit it because
yeah, you should do
he
something
wants
about
that
that. But
Robin tail.
hmm again, she's the main wife.
Yeah,
There's just
exactly. She's the
no,
head wife,
yeah.
the favorite.
uh,
Christine comes out and just says that Robin's the favorite. It's obvious.
I mean, she doesn't. She's not the only one that sees it. I feel like everybody that watches the show knows.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and
yeah.
I, and I think it's because she, like you said, like, well, like we all know, she was younger, prettier, and of course that was like his prize wife. He was like, this
Exactly.
is it, we're good now, I got
But
everything.
she aged like milk, dude. That trophy was made out of dairy product because it did not hold up.
Yeah, time has not been kind to her, but it
No.
has been kind to the other wife, so that
Right.
does work, and because they all seem like they've gone through so much and they finally had enough. And I think that's another thing why Janelle is like, I'm okay with this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I'm just working on myself here. And like I think she's gonna be like what's his name? Andrew Dufresne from Shawshank,
What do you
right?
mean?
Like in like a way that in a way
Like,
that he's got time, right? Remember where he's like, "Hey, can you get me this so I can make a hole in my
yeah.
fucking cell?" And it's
Oh,
like
okay. She's
that's gonna
gonna
take a
just,
long time, you know.
yeah.
And he's like, "I
Yeah.
got I got plenty of time, dude."
Yeah.
So I think
No,
that's what
that
Janelle's
makes
doing.
sense.
I think she's building that
We're gonna
she's digging that hole in the wall to eventually just one
one day
day, yeah, he's gonna
Cody's
show up
gonna
at her
come into
house.
her house and he's gonna see a Joseph Smith poster and he's gonna lift it up and see the hole.
He's gonna say, "Oh, that's where she escaped from." Yeah, she's got nothing but
I
time.
believe that.
So yeah, in Mary, she's getting tired of it too. She's getting tired of him.
I think, yeah, I
Why
agree. I think just that she's so stubborn.
why do you think that she won't leave him?
I have two theories on that. One is that she is, one is
Yes.
that she's so just honestly thinks that she can't do any better and thinks that this is what she needs to do. And it's so sad because when she was talking about her mom and how her mom wished that she could grow old with her sister wives, but then all her sister wives left. And like now, Christine's leaving, Janelle's leaving, and like she doesn't have a relationship. Like Mary doesn't have a relationship with any of her sister wives right now. She sits in her house all goddamn day alone with her dog. Like it's really sad. But I think either she just has no self esteem that she won't leave him, or two, she's specifically staying there to torture him. She knows he doesn't want her around or like her or anything like that, but she's doing it because, like, she's like, well, fuck you, Cody. I'm going to stay here, you know, and make you have to take care of me or whatever. Even though
Right.
she actually takes care of herself because she owns that bed and breakfast. So she probably pulls in enough income to not even need Cody.
hmm Yeah, I mean, when you got a show behind you to advertise, do you
Yeah.
even need like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's your
And that bed
income
and
right there.
breakfast looks nice too. Like it honestly, like it looks like it would be cool to stay, especially if you were like an actual fan and you wanted to like meet Mary or something.
hmm hmm That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. One day.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Jenna should go up there for a little trip.
For a little
Or I
trip.
guess
Where is
there.
it? It's in Vegas. No, it's not Vegas. It's in
It's in Utah, I think, but like at the
Utah.
very bottom of Utah. Like it's not like up
Yeah, yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
down. But I
That's
think
funny.
it's I want to say St. George, Utah, which I think is like closer to the border, but I
Yeah.
couldn't know for sure.
Well, yeah. So again, Mary didn't really have any like much airtime
She
this
was
past three
barely in
episodes.
she was barely in any of the episodes, and like she each episode I think she had one talking head and then one aside where she was just randomly in her house and they were like, "So what do you think about Christine leaving?" And she's like, "I'm not happy with it." And like that's it, you know. And then on their video call, she didn't say a goddamn thing. Like her and Robin looked terrified to speak. She honestly did. She was just like her eyes super wide open, you know.
Hmm. And
But
what do you think is gonna happen? So, okay, I mean, Robin is gonna stay for sure.
mhm.
She's going nowhere
No,
because they're
well,
legally married.
right, yeah, and she really does rely on Cody because she doesn't do shit for work. She doesn't do anything. She sits on her ass all day while the nanny takes care of the kids.
I was gonna say there's also a nanny. That's something that the other wives don't have.
Right, and Christine even mentioned, she said 10 years ago, um, Christine was working nights and she like asked Cody for help and he refused to give it to her. And so
Oh,
it
right. He
was
called her
Gwen or
selfish.
Isabel. What?
He
Yeah,
called
he
her
called her
selfish.
selfish. Exact. And then one of their kids, Gwen or Isabel, that was 10 years old at the time, was the one tucking in all the other kids at night while Christine was at work because Cody couldn't be fucked to come downstairs because they were all living in the same house at the time. So he couldn't even be fucked to just come downstairs to put his own kids to sleep. Like he's not even trying to interact with anybody. He's just there to put his kids to sleep. But yeah. So that
But
was really fucked up.
he was busy taking care of Robin's kids.
Well, he wasn't even that was before Robin was in the picture. He was just at like hanging out
Oh.
with another wife
Oh, because I
when they were
remember that's what he said.
home.
That's what
But
think what she said. She was like, "Oh yeah, he was." No, he said that she was trying to take more time for her away from the other wives, which again, not true. When somebody tells you,
right.
"Hey, can you tuck your kids to bed?" and you're saying you want me more than the other wives,
When she's
and you
not
live in the
even
same house, bro,
yeah.
bro, come on,
Yeah, and it
come
was
on.
literally just their house in Lehigh was yeah, it was all connected. So it would take him like less than 10 minutes to finish it and go back and be with his other wife. Like it wasn't even like in Las Vegas where he was like running around constantly like a chicken with
From
his
house
head
to
cut off at
house.
every yeah. Like is when they showed that clip, I feel like they should have like played yakety sax in the background when he was
Oh,
going to different houses.
yes. Oh, yeah, he reminded like when I saw him like jumping over like rocks and trying to get into.
Yeah,
I like that episode of The Office when they do parkour. That's all
yeah,
I could
yeah.
hear. It's like parkour, parkour, parkour. That was it.
Man, that would have been
Um,
great if he had pulled an Andy and just completely fallen down into the building.
fucking Cody,
Um,
man.
yeah, he's terrible. And him when they're talking,
Are you talking
sorry, I'm
like
just
towards the
making
end
notes.
or
Well, when they're talking on the screen, the
on Zoom
Zoom
call?
call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another example of Cody like favoring Robin's kids and being like because he said I'm gonna have I'm gonna have Brianna stay home and but Isabel can choose if she wants to go to school or not. Like and Christina's like Isabel would love to have her dad call and say please stay home because I want to see you, but he won't.
COVID protocols.
Yeah.
What?
And that's another thing too, because he's like, Janelle says, well, you could just like stand outside and talk to them. You don't have to go over, if you want to like interact with them. And he's like, it's snowing outside right now. I don't want to get cold. Like that's his reasoning for not seeing his children is that, but it's cold outside.
Like, dude, just come out and say it. You don't like any
Yeah.
of your family members. You
Uh-huh.
just want Robin. That's your
Yep.
one family you want. Just say it and free the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. And all
Like,
the adult kids know that. And he's saying that like they're gossiping about him. And it's like, no, they're just saying my dad sucks and I hate this. Like that's not it's they're lamenting their terrible father.
yeah, that's not gossiping. That's just,
Yeah.
expressing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's so crazy. He thinks everybody's against him, and he's just like doing the right thing. But again,
Mhm.
it's just your typical religious nut job who thinks everything that they do is right, but they don't
Yeah.
like really have any like idea of their surroundings.
Yeah. It's a God complex for sure.
Mm-hmm. 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 Um, but yeah, we pretty much talk about all the wives. Now, there was one kid that I had a problem with, the one that was having the baby.
Yeah. I had a problem with her
I
for
had a
inviting
problem with her. Yeah, well, no, no, no. My main problem with her was that her name is Makata? No,
McKelty.
McKelty.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of name is that?
All of Christine's children's names are weird in some way.
And
Her
then they
first,
named their kids a weird name.
yeah, it's Oh yeah, Avalon, Avalon Asa Perez, and I'm pretty sure Asa is a guy's name traditionally.
I just call him Henry. What's wrong with Henry?
That's my son's name exactly. Just a regular name, please.
Yeah, just why do you have to be weird? Like, just
I
call
don't
him.
understand that. Yeah, it's like those like memes of like white people naming their kids and it's like Michaela and it's like spelled with like so many different like GHs and like
I have a
Y stuff.
friend. Yeah, I have a friend who named her kid Abigail, but she's not the brightest, so she spelled it how she sounded out. Like she was like like she wrote like exactly
I
what she thought the name sounded like. She put that
do
in
like
there.
ABBIGAYLE or something like that.
There is like an H, a W, and I'm
Oh
sure there's a
God.
number in there too. I was
Because when
just
I think of
like,
Abigail, I'm like, it is spelled like it sounds, right? I mean, it's sort of like a straightforward to me
okay, I
spelled
should say
name.
this. Okay, so Abigail, but with a Massachusetts accent, like a heavy Massachusetts accent, and then that's the name.
Abigail. I
Like
can't do it that well.
it is. Yeah, like when I read it, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell it. You know,
Yeah.
but I've
Not
seen a lot of names like that. In this one, I was like, what the fuck
this
is
isn't
this?
a spelling error one, but I have a friend who has a daughter and she named her first name and her middle name Ava Ria because I guess Dia was already taken. Diarrhea,
Yeah,
Averia. It's just like why Averia sound like she's gonna get called diarrhea when she goes to school.
yeah, it's like a fucking it's a heaven for teasing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Yeah, just a good old name, just a normal
Yeah.
name. You don't need to go
Mhm.
crazy with it. You need to make your kid's name unique. They're
Yeah.
gonna be unique if they're meant
Yeah.
to be unique. Because like
Yeah,
my friend
or they're
says, yeah, because like my friend says, the hive needs working bees too.
the
You know what I mean?
high needs
The
oh,
hive,
yeah.
like the
Exactly. The hive. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
so
There
if
are
they're meant,
gods and clods.
yeah, yeah. So it's gonna happen. Whatever it is, it's gonna be. So
Mhm.
but yeah, that was my main problem. Other than that, cute baby.
I will
That whole
say,
birth, fucking, I was traumatized because I'm just
yeah,
like, I'm
that was
watching.
hard to watch.
I don't remember what I think. My dogs heard something outside, so they started like they went out to the little ramps. I was like, "What do you see? What do you see?" And I got distracted for a minute, and all I heard was, "Whoa!" I was like, "What the is that? Am I watching
She
The
could have started a metal
Exorcist?"
band.
She could have. She could have. Those were
Oh,
some.
and I
Yeah.
do just want to say really quickly that Tony, her husband, I
Yes.
don't know if you remember when they first introduced him, but when he was first introduced on the show, and we haven't really seen him for a while, he had like maybe hair down to here, it was a little longish and maybe looked a little disheveled,
Down
and
to
stuff
his
like.
ears, like maybe
Yeah,
like ear level.
exactly.
Okay.
But like still like it looks like he washed it and everything. He looks like a bog monster right now. Like he looks like a troll that you would like give pine cones to grant your wishes or something. I don't know, dude. You need the haircut.
Poor guy, man. But no, I was
Yeah.
that the whole birth. I mean, I've seen obviously like I feel like people are more open up putting their births on TV. So
Yeah.
we've seen a few, including WWE's a version of it when Mark Henry gave and the Fabulous Moolah got together and Fabulous Moolah gave or Mae Young, I'm sorry, Mae Young gave birth to a hand. Um, we we've seen all kinds of weird things, but this one was just like I think a little too more real because it was like at home and there was like
Mhm.
no
Yeah, no epidural.
the girl was just like it's coming. Oh, this liquid just dropped. I was like, what do you mean liquid just dropped? What is happening here? And then of course the baby comes out and I guess they were worried because they had like the
It had the
umbilical
cord wrapped
cord,
around
which
its
is
neck.
super
Yeah.
scary
Yeah,
when
it is.
you're yeah.
That happened with my son too. It wasn't around
Really?
his neck for long. Yeah, like they said it must have just happened because he came out and he had little kind of like pinprick looking blood,
Yeah.
like not bleeding, but like his face was just kind of covered with red dots. And
Uh,
they said that was from like it's him starting to lose oxygen and shit. So
oh
yeah, it's
fuck.
super scary, but I mean, he's
Yeah.
fine. Nothing happened to him because it had just happened. But yeah, I totally related with that.
Yeah, that was just really, really scary. I figure like I mean I think for any parent, I mean it's scary for me to watch. I can't even imagine what it's
Mhm.
like to, be over there in the middle of pushing it out and then they tell you, oh yeah, it's got a fucking it came out with a little death wish and now you have to be like, oh shit, like it's gotta be scary, scary. But yeah,
So
no,
let
you're
me
right.
ask you, do you think Tony caught the baby or did he drop it? Did he smell the poo and go, nah, and drop it like he said he would?
I want to go. I mean, based on what we saw, I think he didn't drop it.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny that he was just like, it's going to be slippery. It's
I
like
mean,
when Dwight gives Michael that like Vaseline watermelon to practice catching the baby.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. God damn it, that show. You can reference that show on anything for
Yeah, that
everything.
in The Simpsons, you can reference anything.
But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much 3 episodes.
Mhm.
I'd love to get together another time and talk about whether a couple more episodes or the next episode because like that was interesting
Yeah,
and
I love that for sure. What
yeah.
we I guess the new episode drops on Sunday, so I guess we can watch it and see if there's enough content to do a podcast or if we want to do another 3
Or
episodes and do it
yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say, or we can meet every 3 episodes or so.
Yeah,
That'd be
that'd be
nice
cool.
too. Because I know a lot of people watch this show and there's a lot of interest and
Mhm.
I just couldn't do it alone because I would just get upset.
Yeah,
Then I'd be like,
exactly.
fuck this.
Yeah,
Then
you
I was
have
like,
to have
I'll be done.
somebody to laugh with you or else it's just like, "Oh god, no, this is bad." I'm
Yeah,
watching a train wreck in slow motion.
yeah. So but yeah, that was. I mean, do you have anything else to add to this
No, I can't.
hot
I think
mess?
we Yeah, I think we covered pretty much what we needed to cover for the highlights and how
Yeah.
terrible Cody is.
uh, that needs to be double highlighted. I mean, this guy
Yeah,
is an absolute monster.
he is.
And he's not even like oh he's just a bad guy. Like he's a bad dad. He's like a real shit stain of a human being,
Mhm.
you know?
Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up
Yes.
regarding Cody being a shit stain of a human being. On national TV, that motherfucker called his own son a narcissist when Garrison called him to be like, "Look, Dad, it's not working out. I don't want to talk to you anymore." And he's like, "This narcissist has the audacity to tell me blah, blah, blah." And it's like, why don't you look at the man in the mirror?
Exactly, exactly. Oh, don't you just love it when somebody that is like that calls you exactly what you think of them?
Yeah. It's so ironic and it's just like, hmm, all right. You think on that for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fucking Korak. Ah, guy, I don't like this guy at all.
No,
I
he's a
think,
piece of shit.
yeah, he is terrible. From the noodle hair to the way he walks.
Yeah,
Don't like the man. Don't like the
I don't
man.
like him.
No.
Not at all.
Uh, but that's it. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us today, and
Yeah, thank you for having me.
hopefully, of course, you kidding me? As much as I hated this show, like you said, like like you just need somebody to like shoot the shit with,
Yep,
because
exactly.
otherwise I was just driving myself crazy. And
Yeah, that's why I listen to like reality TV podcasts and stuff because it's like I need. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, or like that's why I post in the Reddit because otherwise I'm just gonna explode. I need somebody to talk to about this.
yeah, I need to fucking just
Yeah,
get it all out. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And just a quick question to you. And this is just for my uh narcissistic personality, me. It's for me. How did you come across this podcast?
I came across it by EJ was on the Fraudcast,
Hmm.
and I was like, "This guy's fucking hilarious." And so I
Yes.
went and he plugged it at the end, so I went and listened and like you guys and Riri, like I was just like, "This is my favorite." Actually, I was the person that reviewed your podcast, whose name for some reason on my Apple Podcast reviews is Cretin with a bunch of numbers afterwards. I was Cretin. So there you
Ah,
go.
that's hilarious because I was like, I don't think they want to be called that. He goes, fuck it. That's what they want to be called.
I
That's their name. Like, all right, Cretan, that's it.
Yeah, I had no idea that that was my name on Apple Podcasts, and I was like, I don't even give that much of a fuck to change it, so whatever. I'll be a
Ah, that's
Cretan.
hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, uh, thank you for coming over and hanging out.
Yeah, totally. This is fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
wait to
And
do the next 3.
fuck yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna like try not to like flip out too much while I watch it, and I'll try to bring my best self into this next 3 shows.
Yeah. You probably need to crack a few beers open while you watch the episodes just
Oh
to
my
like
god,
calm your
just
nerves.
just to release some stress, just crush the
Yeah.
can. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, thank you so much everybody for listening, for watching, because this will also make it to the audio part as soon as my friend Tony gets a hand hold of it. And yeah, that's really it. Do you have anything else to plug? Twitter, Instagram?
You can find me. I'm not very active on Twitter. I'm going to try and be more. You can find me on Twitter at leftover pizza with 2 R's. So leftover pizza.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Same thing on across all social media, or
Um, but it depends on, there's sometimes where I have to use 3 R's and sometimes just 1 R
Hmm.
if like things are taken. So I think on Instagram it's just 1 R. On Reddit it's 3 R's. So yeah, you guys can find me there. If you're on Reddit and you, I don't know, want to follow me on Reddit for some reason, if, I'm there too. But yeah, Instagram and Twitter. Leftover pizza for Instagram, leftover 2 R's pizza on Twitter. So yeah,
hell
send
yeah.
me a follow, whatever.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Oh,
So that's been our episode of Sister Wives. Obviously, we're gonna have to bring it back because fuck it. And I got somebody to do with.
Hell yeah.
Ah, on that, thank you so much, everybody, for listening, watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.